identifies shameful practice as major cause of teenage pregnancy and child marriage in the central region.
And presidential election to usher in civilian rule in Mali takes place in February 2024.
Hello, good evening and welcome to News Hour. We are live on Facebook via Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. I am Rahmatu Mahmoud Jawando.
My name is Clara Umlano. Jonathan Intemda Congo will interpret the news into sign language. On day 2 of the Rise Ghana protests against economic hardships in the country, the group presented their petition to the Finance Ministry and Parliament.
They demanded action to address the cost of living crisis and some government policies. We bring you that later.
Moving on, the Rise Ghana demonstration on Tuesday turned chaotic and police and protesters exchanged tear gas and stone. The police threw tear gas when, according to them, the protesters were trying to use unapproved routes. In the end, they arrested about 30 of the protesters.
A security analyst, Dr. Vladimir Nejanso, in an earlier bulletin, explained the cause of police-civilian violence, which has happened in the country many times in recent times.
Anytime we want to go on demonstration, we have rioting at the back of our mind rather than demonstration. Police don't interfere in demonstration. They make corridors for people to express their feelings, and they help the people through some routes to be able to see authority and hand over their grievance. And that's the demonstration. But when you begin to burn ties, attack pedestrians, attack commuters, attack the police, that is criminal. And that is when the police will respond. But invariably, all our demonstrations in this country have been riots, and we label them as demonstrations. For as long as we riot and think the demonstration, the police will then react as per the remedy given them by the Constitution to instill public order and protect public safety. So we will continually have this until we understand what is demonstration and what is rioting or mobocracy.
For the first time, the government has openly issued 95 signed mining licenses to members of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners after passing a rigorous test. The issuance is expected to ensure transparency towards the agenda to build a viable, responsible, and environmentally friendly small-scale mining sector. It's been years of fighting to sanitize the artisanal small-scale mining sector in Ghana, with the illegalities taking a huge toll on the country's water bodies and degrading the environment. From dialogue in education to introducing military-cum-police task force and presentation of 100 mercury-free gold machine, the gold catcher, the interventions are still being rolled out until the small-scale mining sector attains a state of perfection.
We have also, by the grace of God, through the instrumentality of the minister, procured speedboats, and they are in the country. Very soon, now we're recruiting river wardens who will be permanently placed along the river banks. We want a permanent solution to the destruction, or wanted destruction of our river bodies, and that we don't want to take knee-jerk decisions.
Presenting the document to the miners, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapo, says government is not oblivious to the activities of recalcitrant illegal miners destroying the environment, and his outfit will revoke the licenses issued if the laid down procedures are not followed to the letter.
They have to be rest assured that we'll come after them, and when we come after them, we'll be ruthless. We will be absolutely ruthless, and the policy of decommissioning and demobilizing excavators and equipment which are used for illegal mining has not stopped. That policy will continue. I'm not going to indicate when next an operation will be launched, but operations will be launched.
The Ghana Association of Small-Scale Miners pledged to abide by the spelled out law.
I must take this opportunity to let all small-scale miners whose licenses have been signed to know that this is the first step. But compliance to the legal framework is the next step, and that is what is going to keep us in the industry. Responsible mining, and responsible mining.
Soon, a credit facility for members of the association will come on stream, with 20 miners to begin the piloting phase. For GBC News, Clara Mlanu reporting.
Ghana's first ever gold refinery will soon open for business. This sets in motion government's determination and policy to add value to its mined minerals of refining at least 30% of all gold produced in Ghana. A trial run for the facility has taken place and awaiting formal opening by President Akufo-Addo to officially start work in August 2022.
Named Royal Ghana Gold Refinery, construction on the facility began in 2019, executed by Saponji Palonji, an Indian company. With equipment such as scanners, control rooms, tumblers, precipitation machines, electrolyzers, volts, assay labs, X-ray rooms, the facility will refine about 300 kilograms of gold daily. An agreement between the government of Ghana and Rossi Royal saw some 25 million investments from India into the Royal Ghana Gold Refinery, and this gives government a 20% equity share in the company, while the Indian investor takes 80%. According to officials, Ghana has a first-class assay laboratory which can determine the purity of the gold under 2 minutes. What is left is for the London Bullion Markets Association and alliance with International Hallmarking Convention to certify Ghana's refined gold.
All the major banks, this is what they store in their vaults, 4 nights.
Just 6 months into the implementation of the 3% withholding tax cut to 1.5% on gold processed locally, records at the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, PMMC, show an increase in production and profit margins from 100 kilograms in 2020 to 1,900 as of May 2022.
This is a major game changer in the gold mining industry, because as you may well be aware, for over 100 years that Ghana has been mining gold, there's not really been a state-owned or state equity participation in a gold refinery in this country. And therefore, with this coming on board, we believe that it is going to change the narrative.
The takeoff of the refinery will boost the economy and expand the job market.
What is important to them is also traceability as to where you get the gold and how you get them and where you refine them. As a government, we are also interested in getting gold that is certified both by the community and the country. If we get a refinery here, obviously, as I said earlier, we are going to expand the base of the natural resource economy as far as gold is concerned.
Inspection of the facility by a Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in charge of mines, Mr. George Mekuduka, and his team precedes the grand opening in August. The Commander Idinegwa for the Municipal Health Directorate has issued an embarrassing report to parents and opinion leaders about a shameful practice identified as the major cause of teenage pregnancy and child marriage in the Central Region, particularly in the municipality. The abominable practice is called Sheleshi. Sheleshi is a practice where a boy offers between 5 and 10 cedis and a candle to a girl partner in exchange for sex. By the contract, the candle is lit as the sex act begins, and until the candle wax is completely waned, the act continues. The Ghana Health Services 2020 reports indicate that almost 110,000 adolescent pregnancies were recorded in the country. The Central Region placed third after Ashanti and Eastern regions with over 10,000 pregnancies. In the Komenda Ejina Iguafo Brim municipality, there is a practice called Bokomodo Awar, which has led to teenage pregnancies in the area. Usually, when a teenager gets pregnant, she is pushed by her family to go and live with a man or boy responsible for the pregnancy. Now, the latest practice is Shele. A boy makes an offer of 5 cedis or an amount, usually not more than 10 cedis, plus a candle to a girl partner for sex. The candle lighted during the sexual intercourse has to be exhausted before the contract ends. In the event when the girl begins to feel tired before the candle is melted completely, the sex act is suspended and continued at a later time. In the case where it is the boy that gets tired before the candle melts completely, another or other friends of his could continue for him till the candle is down. To find a lasting solution to this, the Ghana Health Service, with support from International Needs Ghana, an NGO, held the consultative meeting at Cape Coast with parents, traditional and community leaders, religious leaders and assemblymen. The forum was held under the NGO's project called Promoting Adolescent Girls Safe Spaces PASS, which is being implemented together with the UNFPA and UNICEF through the global program to end child marriage. The People and Culture Manager of International Needs Ghana, Mr. Fred Harley, spoke about the project and some findings.
Basically, we are trying to create safe spaces for adolescent girls where they will be empowered with education and knowledge on issues that border on adolescent pregnancy, adolescent marriage, and more importantly, sexual and gender-based violence identified within these communities.
A senior health officer at the Komenda Ejina Iguafo Brim Municipal Health Directorate, Madame Belinda Salasi Agbuga, threw more light on the shameful practice and how it is affecting the future of children.
We have a lot of cases of teenage pregnancy in the schools and the communities as well. But now it's going down because a lot of education is going on through the discussions we have at the PASS project.
The chairman of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral, Apostle Professor Opoku Onyina, is urging leaders of church groups in the country to use their pulpits to encourage their members to contribute to the construction of the National Cathedral. The plan during the week-long activities is to increase awareness on the project among the public. Currently, 31.7 million Ghana cedis has been realized from donations out of the anticipated 350 million Ghana cedis.
Ghana's National Cathedral is one of the most iconic projects Ghana is adding to her skyline. The estimated 350 million Ghana cedi project, aside the cathedral building, will also include a biblical garden and a biblical museum. The auditorium, for instance, will comfortably accommodate over 5,000 expandable to 20,000 people at a sitting. Aside providing a spiritual sanctuary for Christians, the cathedral, we are told, will enable Ghana to rake in substantial revenue through religious tourism as part of efforts to popularize the project among the public and also mobilize the needed funding for the project. The Board of Trustees and the Secretariat have launched a National Cathedral Celebration Week to increase awareness of the project. The plan of the organizers for the National Cathedral Week celebration, which will be celebrated between 4th to 10th July, is to explain to the public issues surrounding the construction of the cathedral and the need for Ghana to have such a facility, especially at this time of the nation's life. The chair of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Apostle Opoku Nyina, appealed to Christians in Ghana to own the project, especially where statistics have shown that 70% of Ghanaians are Christians.
We appeal to all Christians in the country to support this mass mobilization strategy by encouraging their members to register for the 100 Cities Club. This is the key to the church ownership of this historic monument that also celebrates the Christian presence and contributions.
A member of the Board of Trustees, Reverend Joyce Ayi,
News just in on Thursday's scheduled swearing in of the new executives of the Ghana Journalists Association. A member of the Ghana Journalists Association, Justice Lee Adubu, has filed an application to place an injunction to prevent newly elected GJA President Mr. Albert Dumfo from being sworn in his suit. Justice Lee Adubu argues that the bribe allegation leveled against Mr. Dumfo should have been investigated before the elections were held. The injunction was served to the officials of the GJA on Wednesday, June 29, 2022, which is one day before the scheduled swearing-in of the newly elected executives. While praying the court to declare the election null and void, Justice Adubu also wants the court to issue an order to conduct fresh elections.
The Trade Union Congress is asking of governments a 20% non-taxable cost of living allowance to cushion workers from the inflationary pressures. In an interview, the TUC Secretary General Dr. Yao Ba also called on the government to reduce the high policy rate.
Of living allowance for all workers of this country, because this year, 2022, we had an increase of only 7% for public sector workers. And so we are asking for 20% because inflation is now around 27%. And we hope that government will listen to us because there's no time to waste. We have written to government, we have written to the president, the letter was delivered on Monday. We are expecting that we engage around that letter with government as soon as possible. Why is the negotiation of minimum wage going on? The negotiation is for 2023. But what we are saying is that before 2023, government should grant COLA, cost of living allowance for all categories of workers mentioned in our letter. When our governments and our employers don't seem to know our value, we withdraw the service. That's what they call strike. You withdraw the service and then they get to know the value of the service, and then when you start to negotiate, they know the value of the service. And so now you can have some, stronger position during the negotiation. So everything is on the table, and I hope that, they do not allow that to happen, because this will harm the economy in a very, very bad way.
And Ghana is hosting a 5-day 48th ordinary session of the Mediation and Security Council at the ministerial level of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in Accra. Addressing the opening ceremony, Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister, Madame Shelley Ayoko-Boche, indicated that Ghana will host the 61st ordinary session of the Authority of the ECOWAS Heads of State and Governments in Accra on Sunday, July 3, 2022.
12 heads of state are expected to join the chairman of ECOWAS, President Akufo-Addo, in Accra for the summit. The summit will mark the end of the second-year stewardship of President Akufo-Addo, who assumed the chairmanship of the regional bloc on 7 September 2022 in the Nigerian capital, Niamey. In June 2021, the mandate of President Akufo-Addo was renewed by his peers for another 1 year based on his stellar leadership. And under his watch, the reforms aimed at reducing the number of ECOWAS commissioners from 15 to 7 had been achieved. This development is expected to streamline operational costs of ECOWAS. Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Madam Shelayo Kobotwi, addressing the Mediation and Security Council in Accra, said the Accra Summit will be dedicated to examining and taking decisions on the political, security and humanitarian situations in Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea.
As part of the agenda before us, we will be briefed on the report of the 36th meeting of the MSC at the ambassadorial level. Also, the draft supplementary act on the revision of a 2001 ECOWAS supplementary protocol on democracy and good governance. The review of the memoranda on political and security situations in the region, and the review of the draft supplementary act on the transfer of persons suspected of piracy and associated property and/or evidence. We shall also receive updates on the status of implementation of the ECOWAS early warning centers in member states, as well as updates on the humanitarian situations in the region. We would further deliberate on the draft supplementary act relating to the amendment of the supplementary protocol on democracy and good governance, which I'm personally aware has received attention, inputs, and comments from various stakeholders in the region.
Madam Shelayo Kobotwi will also host her colleagues, foreign ministers from the 15 member states of the ECOWAS bloc on Thursday, 30th June 2022 in Accra.
A structure akin to a death trap and roofed with palm fronds currently serves as a classroom block at the Ouagadougou MA Junior High School in the Nkranza South municipality of the Northeast region. This story of Ouagadougou MA JHS is not peculiar to this school alone. About 29 basic schools in the Nkranza South municipality are currently operating either under trees or churches, structures roofed with palm fronds or in dilapidated classroom blocks. Our Northeast regional correspondent Samuel Ayama tells us more.
The government established the Ouagadougou MA Basic School in 2008. Today, there are 220 students enrolled. According to the leadership of the school, who spoke to GBC News on condition of anonymity, the infrastructural decay in the school is affecting academic work, particularly whenever the rains are heavy. At the school, GBC News found out that primary 1, 2, 3, and the kindergarten were using a pavilion constructed by the Parent-Teacher Association of the school as a classroom block. The JHS 1 and 2 were also using a structure roofed with palm branches. Portions of a 2-unit classroom block constructed several years ago for the JHS had been destroyed by the windstorm, leaving the remaining structure with visible cracks. Some pupils sent an SOS to the government to do something about the situation.
The nature of the classroom block is affecting teaching and learning. Wherever it is threatening to rain, we have to close and go home. We have suffered for a long time. We need government support.
The Nkranza South municipality has a furniture deficit of 3,700. Mr. Isaac Kone Amankwa is the Nkranza South Municipal Director of Education.
About 3 weeks ago, we took delivery of about 200 pieces. And I also had discussion with the Honorable MCE, and he has agreed to provide us about 1,000 pieces. So if we take away the 1,000 pieces from the 4,700, then we have a deficit of about, say, 3,700 pieces of furniture.
Mr. Amankwa said despite the numerous challenges at the basic schools, including lack of teachers' accommodation and teachers refusing postings to rural communities, the performance of pupils at the PEC level has been encouraging.
About 29 schools in our municipality, which is under tree. Some of them use temporary structures and others are also actually under trees.
From research children with good basic education end up performing well academically. They say what happens in a child's formative years can affect physical development, mental development, and success in life, but the needed facilities and infrastructure to learn comfortably are key. This means at the basic level, every child needs a decent furnished classroom, relevant books, and properly trained teachers, among other necessaries. Sadly, this is not so in many basic schools in the Nkranza South municipality and the entire region. Many are worried that if the status quo does not change, it could lead to a high illiteracy rate in the area and defeat the efforts to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, especially Goal 4. For GBC News, Samuel Ayama, Waga.
You're still watching News live on GTV and GBC News. Residents of Busunya, capital of the Nkranza North District of the Bono East region, are unhappy about the poor state of their roads, linking major routes to some of the commercial centers of the township. They say the situation makes it difficult to access basic social amenities, especially during the rainy season. Residents are calling on government and stakeholders to help construct the Busunya town roads. Our Bono East regional correspondent Samuel Ayama has more.
The Busunya residents say the contractor working on the town roads has abandoned the project for over a year now, and that the recent rains had deepened the indentations created by the neglect, posing a serious danger to many road users, especially the aged and children. The residents appealed for work to resume on the roads soonest.
People are suffering in this community. Since 2004, these districts were created. Nothing has been done, especially the people are talking about their town rules, but they are not doing it. So now we are pleading to the government so that he can do the work for us.
Dear sir, and I'm paying for it. My 40 amabay. 17 Yokra, one family for my yes, another room. Young Mason so Bentimbuco school. Dear sir, another room. And I'm Saquaria saying in Sucra, Sucra, any papa inquiry. Say shelter. This is a and Sana Yadia Coffee and say I call you to my share.
When contacted, the district chief executive from Nkranza North, Mr. Peter Oseifosu, said all efforts made to get the contractor back on site has not worked.
But now we are all hoping that the contractor comes immediately to start work, as we will be left with no other option than to recommend termination of that project.
From GBC News checks, the construction of the 96-kilometer stretch of Nkranza-Tebubu Highway is currently ongoing. The construction of the road has been divided into 4 lots and awarded to different contractors. The first lot, which is 15 kilometers, was completed in 2014. The second lot, 15 kilometers, third lot, 8 kilometers, and fourth lot, 7 kilometers, is awarded to Nimonat and Jones Ventures Limited and Ben Amaka Enterprise Limited, respectively.
Tanobwasi, Bafi, Kranka, Buana Yefri Road. That one is being executed by J. Atta Limited. The first lot, he's done all the bridges, all the drains, and even done the forming. Then we have Bonomanso, Kranka Sika, and then Pinihi. That one is also being taken care of by Asamwa Electricals. But unfortunately, we haven't seen much action on that road. Tanko to Fiema, the contractor is also working. Senya to Bonti, there is a contractor called Saper. He is also seriously working on that stretch. From Busunya through Bomri to Bonti, that contractor came to site barely a month ago, and he has also done marvelous work.
Busunya is an agrarian community with a population of over 3,000. For GBC News, Samuel Ayama, Busunya.
The launch of a new program dubbed Ghanaian Media, The Bold, Beautiful, Ugly and The Maverick, has taken place in Accra. This idea is to celebrate 13 outstanding media practitioners and friends of the media who stood out in the practice of journalism. The program will air live on GTV from July through September 2022.
For honor are chosen on the basis of their fearless pursuit of crusading journalism. The executive director of the Center for Communication and Culture, Mr. Enemil Ashon, said these pace setters relentlessly questioned policies, exposed wrongs, and fought the high and mighty in society just to report the truth. Through the mass media, they also defied unjust decrees aimed at imposing or maintaining a culture of silence and fought for the rights of journalists.
Ghana came this far because of the work of some individuals who practice their profession and sold the idea that power can go along with freedom.
The outgoing president of the GJA, Mr. Afel Muni, urged journalists to be truthful and fearless in their line of work. GBC's acting director of TV, Mr. Ebenezer Ampabing, said journalists must learn to criticize and report devoid of insults. For 13 weeks, from July through September, there will be interviews on Ghana television at peak time with the legends.
Africa's freedom and future development is placed squarely on the shoulders of the media. Any person who speaks the truth, truth is God. God is power. So therefore, you don't speak truth to power. You show the God nature of who you are. Speak the truth. Say the truth at all times without fear.
On September 21, the legends will be honored with plaques, citations and a surprise. Also by courtesy of GTV and 4 other stations, a 30-minute TV documentary on the lives and times of the legends will be telecast. For GBC News, Yaira Lawe reporting.
Is the major news live on GTV and GBC News. News returns in a bit with Dorothy Ajimai with the business segment. Do stay.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN. Good evening and welcome. I am Dorothy Ajimai. Pressure on the pockets of motorists is expected to be eased due to the anticipated decrease in prices of some petroleum products at the pumps during this weekend. Consumers of petrol will from July 2, 2022 enjoy an 8% decrease on each litre of petrol, but a litre of diesel will increase by 3%. On the other hand, a kilogram of liquefied petroleum gas will see its price going down by 7%. Currently, a litre of petrol is going for 11 cedis, while diesel is 14 cedis. On the international markets, the price of a barrel of Brent crude is $119. We move to the Bono region, where leading oil marketing company GOIL is set to extend its operations into other West African countries in the short to medium term. The group CEO of GOIL, Mr. Osei Prempeh, revealed this when he spoke to GBC News at the inauguration of GOIL's Upper Middle Belt Zone offices in Sunyani in the Bono regional capital. The new zonal offices are to bring GOIL services closer to its dealers in the Bono, Ahafo and Bono East regions, as well as the Western North region.
The opening of the new Upper Middle Belt zonal offices in the Bono region is part of GOIL's growth strategy. This development means that GOIL dealers will no longer have to travel to Kumasi to transact business. The event was witnessed by government officials, GOIL fuel dealers, chiefs and staff of GOIL, among others. In his address, the group CEO of GOIL, Mr. Osei Prempeh, urged Ghanaians to keep patronizing GOIL, not just because it has the best fuel, but because it's a wholly Ghanaian-owned entity. He further advised Ghanaians to buy shares in GOIL as an investment for the future.
A shining example that Ghanaians, we can do it and do it better. If we decide to sacrifice for our nation, we shall be patriotic for our nation and know that this country belongs to us, we can do wonders for our nation. And that is the goal of GOIL.
In her remarks, the Bono Regional Minister, Madam Justina Owusu-Banahene, also added her voice to calls for Ghanaians to make GOIL their OMC of choice. A representative of the fuel dealers, Mr. Sam Bennett of Usbet GOIL, on behalf of his colleagues, welcomed the zonal office, hoping it will promote business between GOIL and its dealers.
The opening of the zonal office here in Sunyani has indeed brought GOIL closer to our doorstep, and it's really going to help both GOIL and dealers in the upper middle zone belt for the smooth and effective running of our businesses.
The Bono Regional Minister and the Group CEO of GOIL were joined by the Queen Mother of Sunyani, Nana Akosua Breyie, to officially open the Upper Middle Belt Zonal Office. In an interview, the CEO shared GOIL's plans for expanding beyond the borders of Ghana.
We have the plans that you have to move to other countries. The status that GOIL is now, we can compete everywhere. It's long overdue. So we believe that within the next year or two, we see GOIL in at least 2 West African countries. That's our goal.
You're still watching the business segment of News R. On the interbank markets, the cedi trading at 7 cedis to the US dollar, to the pound sterling at 8 cedis 80 pesos, and to the euro at 7 cedis 60 pesos. Up next are the figures and some commodity prices. And that's it for the business segment, proudly brought to you by MTN. Coming up is the energy segment. Please stay.
Anang. To our first story, residents in the Karachi West municipality in the Oti region say they are unhappy about the unstable power supply in the area. They complain of prolonged power cut and low voltage when power is restored. The situation, the residents explained, is destroying their appliances, pushing them out of business and affecting their livelihood.
6 months, the people of Karachi West municipality have complained about intermittent power cuts in the area. They said the situation is unbearable and are calling on the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, to urgently come to their aid before their businesses collapse. The only fuel station in the municipality does not operate often due to the unreliable power supply. Some residents who spoke to GBC News complained about the electricity supply challenges.
I'm on my way to school and I cannot even get access to fuel. I don't know how I'm going to manage to get to the kids in school.
The light out is disturbing us. I saw fish. All the fishes are spoiled. They keep giving us the same bill.
Our power plant is spoiled due to the intermittent power outages. They are unable to give us reasons for the situation. We are not able to work and it's affecting the customers and our business.
The light always comes in late. Due to that, we end up doing nothing. We are not able to meet deadlines of customers. Customers are always fighting with us for disappointing them.
Nowadays, fuels are very expensive. We don't have enough money to buy fuel to power our generator.
The youth president of the area, Mr. Benin Toso, also pleaded for help.
We invited them to come so that we'll look at the lighting so that they can solve it for us. They came and they were giving us an answer story. Today that, tomorrow this. Honestly, it's not speaking well. Anytime we make an attempt to put it against them, they'll come to intervene. 2-3 days, the light will be stable. The next one is back to normal. Low voltage. Fan, it cannot even power fan.
Global Standards Organization ASTM International has pledged to support Ghana's drive to create a world-class petroleum industry. The US-based standard developer will provide technical assistance towards making Ghana's oil and gas industry more reliable and profitable. ASTM's Director of External Relations made the pledge at a meeting with the Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alex Dodu, in Yaoundé, Cameroon.
With more than 7 billion barrels of oil and 6 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, Ghana holds the 6th largest proven petroleum reserves in Africa. The country has big plans for West Africa's petroleum industry in the next decade, and the government has since introduced a $60 billion petroleum hub project targeting to become a world-class exporter. But analysts say standardization is key to operating the hub safely and ensuring global reliability. And the US-based standards organization, ASTM International, has pledged to support Ghana with the needed technical assistance to realize its vision of developing a world-class oil and gas industry.
At ASTM, we've enjoyed a long time of partnership with GSA, and we appreciate the Ghana Standards Authority's work with us, specifically in areas like petroleum and textile standards. And we believe that through working together in our partnership, we can speed up the adoption and reference of ASTM international standards to promote trade between African countries and the United States.
The Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Professor Alex Dodu, said local participation across the value chain is key in the government's petroleum hub plan. He believes this will help the country have control over her oil assets.
The issue of capacity in Africa is known. We do have a lot of young people without jobs, but they have basic training and they are trainable. But quite often we have not had the expertise in giving them the needed skills, because it's not just a didactic training, but offering skills in areas which are very complex. ASTM is one of the oldest standards institutions in the world. So partnering with them means that we can learn from their mistakes, but importantly adopt proven, modern, effective training methods and approaches.
ASTM International hopes Ghana will take advantage of its existing petroleum standards to support a drive of building a robust industry.
Welcome to the health segment brought to you by kind courtesy Lufat. The Director for Technical Coordination at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Martha Jansa-Lutrot, has urged pharmacists to move away from the traditional way of dispensing drugs and specialize. This is because pharmacists with specialist training have become invaluable to the health team and improving patient outcome. According to Dr. Jansa-Lutrot, specialist pharmacists also ensure good manufacturing practices of pharmaceuticals. She was speaking at the annual general meeting and scientific conference of the Ghana College of Pharmacists in Accra.
Consisting of 8 MPs and 5 staff of the Standing Orders Committee of Zambia's National Assembly was led by their MP and Speaker, Madame Nelly Muti. The group will, for the next few days, engage with their Ghanaian counterparts on the best practices and procedures of conducting the business of the said committee. At a meeting with Ghana's Speaker of Parliament, the Minority Leader, Mr. Haruna Idrisu, explained Ghana's parliamentary system and shared some best practices with the delegation.
Our constitution is one of a fusion of a mix of Westminster and the executive system of government, but largely presidential executive system of America. We have a number of committees, both standing and select committees. The select committees reflect sectorial performance.
We apologize for the wrong footage. The Cape Coast Teaching Hospital has received some medical consumables and equipment from African Diaspora Development Institute, ADI. The ADI group is made up of Africans in the diaspora who are supporting Africans in any way possible. At a short virtual presentation, the group, led by their president and some members, made a virtual presentation of the equipment and consumables to the hospital in Cape Coast.
A member of the community, Dr. David Kazhila, who is also a medical director, said the gesture follows a call on Africans in the diaspora to support the cause of Africa and its development while on a visit to Ghana in 2021 as part of the Year of Return. He believes assistant gaps in healthcare services must be a priority and addressed. The CEO and founder of the African Diaspora Development Institute, Ambassador Arikana Chilombori Kwao, was happy that ADDI has responded to calls to support their roots in Africa. She says there can be no development without a proper healthcare system. She was not happy about the brain drain, which she says is plundering Africa, and called on the diasporans to always remember their roots and support Africa's development. After inspecting the container, the CEO of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, Dr. Eric Njedu, expressed the hospital's appreciation to the African Diaspora Development Institute for the equipment and consumables.
That's all for help brought to you by kind courtesy Lufat.